everybody, I am at Space Center Houston in Houston, Texas, and it's basically an educational center talking all about NASA and the United States and sending humans into space. And this center is actually really huge. I'm here for about 4 or 5 hours today, and I don't even think I can do a lot of the activities, but let's go check it out. Actually, if you look on the website, there's a 7-hour itinerary of what they suggest to do in the order if you wanted to see everything. I'm only here for 4 to 5 hours today, so I'm definitely not going to see everything. But they do have a really nice first kind of almost museum area. You can see, rocks literally from outer space. I got to touch a rock from the moon, super cool. They also have films and really well done theaters. All free. And then they also have tram tours where they drive you around the facility, point out different buildings where real life NASA workers work every day. I will say that there is one paid tram tour to see the Mission Control Center. That's about $15. They do seem to sell out pretty far in advance. I was not able to buy a ticket a couple days in advance when I was looking for a Saturday in May, so definitely probably a busier time. But still, just FYI, buy tickets in advance. Even actually on the day of when you come to the Houston Space Center, the first thing I would suggest you do is go to the guest services desk and reserve your tram tickets. Even though they're free, you still need a ticket for the other tours. I went on the training facility tour, which is about an hour, totally worth it. I will say it is Texas, it is hot, it is humid. Most of the Houston Space Center is inside with air conditioning, but like the tram tours, you're outside a little bit. The walk-in to see some of the full-scale, rockets is outside a little bit. There's even like an option to go on to look even closer to some of the rockets and stuff. And I was just like, it's too hot for me. I don't want to get, too tired, but just to keep that in mind.
Here's a picture of the real space station, and of course here are the mock-ups down in the bottom of the pool. And the important thing you look at, you think, well, all the bright, shiny, expensive space stations up there, and down here in the pool it's all plastic, and there's holes for water buoyancy and stuff like that. So it doesn't look necessarily that impressive when you look at it from here. But the thing about the mock-ups and the neutral buoyancy lab is that there's a handrail right here up in the space station. There's a handrail in the same spot. So dimensionally, it's almost perfect. So what you can do is you can practice your spacewalks over and over on a 1-to-1 scale and kind of get a muscle memory of where you're going to do things. Okay, I got to watch out for the antenna here. Okay, here I got to watch out for the turning pin, and here I can hook my tether and things like that. So you go over and over, and we did, for most of my missions, did probably about 7 to 10 practice spacewalks for every spacewalk that I actually did. So it was a lot of practice there, but it works really well.
And I will say, actually, out of this whole visit, I think one of my favorite learning points, or like one of the favorite things that I've heard on this trip so far, is that the International Space Station is literally an international collaboration. It's not just the United States, it's not just Germany or Spain or Japan, but it's basically just like astronauts from different countries collaborating in a shared space, which it's hard to find on Earth. But really just fulfilling to hear that can work in space. One of the people on the tour that I was chatting with, one of his jobs in previous years was literally working for NASA, trying to coordinate with Russia and other countries like that. He was telling me about a really nice concept of when Russia and the US have sent payloads up to space. The ideal scenario is that you have some people from Russia and some people from the US, both in the same shuttle. Because if anything went wrong, then you have 2 different people with different experiences and different knowledge sets to mitigate the issues. Whereas you'd almost imagine that, the US sends people up and then Russia sends people up separately. But when it comes to space, when it comes to the International Space Station, that's just a really good example of almost required collaboration because everybody is safer in that environment. Thanks for watching, and check back for more videos.